Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, and today we'll be finally reacting to the newest chapter. At least I think it's the newest chapter. I think there's a break this week, but I'm not entirely certain. Haven't found it. They haven't seen the Raws for My Academia chapter 408, so I'm going to assume there is no chapter this week yet. I'll check it later. Again. But anyways, for the right now, for the newest chapter of My Academia, chapter 407, titled an Exceptional Child. Kind of funny that we're talking about an exceptional child when we are dealing with two boys, but whatever. And as we start this off with a flashback zone, like the ones that it's not even worth having like the flashback panels, as we have the narrator popping out saying, for about a year, the sex worker had been suffering from hardened growths on her left arms. As we see like a bit of an overweight lady, kind of like drinking booze, and she's like in the back alley, which weirdly enough, she has like a similar kind of hair. Well, not the same, but kind of a similar a hair that kind of reminds me of Hux's mom, honestly. As we get her there, as then we see like a close up of her eye, as we have we get like that hardened growth on her arm, and then it says she wasn't even aware of her pregnancy for the first 8 months, and her unstable lifestyle wasn't the only reason for that. And alcohol, named alcohol. As we see two babies, one bigger and the other one smaller, I guess it's twins. As we have the nurse saying, she simply couldn't feel what had taken up residence in her uterus and had begun sapping away her very life force. Oh, as they were saying, she gave birth to the twins on riverbank before dying on the spot. And for some reason, the growths on her arms had completely vanished. Oh my! As then they're saying, the two babies were alone in the world. Right around when the rats showed up to gnaw on the newborns and their mother's corpse, the floating river swept the babies away. As they get a bit of a world shot, as we get like reminding us of where the quirks came from in the first chapter. As the narrator pops and says, 1 year later, news of the glowing baby was the first of many worldwide reports of emerging meta abilities. These meta abilities didn't only present at birth, they also started to present after the fact in young people going through puberty. I guess this is why the first ones look very young. Like we see a lady with eyes, I think we've seen before. We see a guy with a telekinesis guy, I think we've seen him before. And then we see another guy who seems like his hat changed into a flaming dragon. Not sure that's a mutation or if that's just his ability, but regardless, we see him. I don't think we've seen him in the first chapter, but again, it's been a while since I've seen this page in the first chapter. Anyways, during that saying, as we get like a bit of a standard gene kind of panel, as we have there saying, one research group looking into the matter hypothesized that a novel disease was to blame. They announced that those with meta abilities were a sub-branch of humanity with new genetic factors. Very obvious, if you ask me. As there's the declaration was reckless and premature. People are social organisms, so this statement divided them and added fuel to the chaos to come. As has been explained multiple times, as we have the narrator, is there like a shot of the city getting destroyed? Not getting destroyed, just a shot of the chaos that's been in the city. Like we see a bunch of like cars randomly destroyed, a bunch of things on the floor, a bunch of glass destroyed, and fires and away from a bit of fire, basically representing the chaos that's been happening. As then we see like I don't know, just being like it seems like we're going a bit of a different art style here because we have like a bunch of like I guess officers or I don't know some kind of Japanese version of firefighters or something like that, or maybe like a quirk version of well quirk versions of the plague doctors or something. I'm not like certain what these guys are. Just a bunch of people wearing helmets and having their faces covered and as They are, I think, reporting somewhere because I think they have like a walkie-talkie or phone or something. Well, the guy who I'm guessing is the leader has it, as he's saying, seems like those meta freaks start gathering over by the industrial zone. As in another guy's like, gotta be the same ones the demonstrators clashed with last night. Demonstrators? Not exactly what's right there. And then another one being, better take them out before they can regroup and rise up. As then we have them taking over something as someone's jumping towards them, as then one of the soldiers like, who's there? As we see a 5-year-old awful, I want to say, walking as he's like covered in a cloak. As we have one of the soldiers be like, an exceptional child, maybe. As so, I guess that's where the title comes from. This chapter, as another soldier is like, look, I feel bad, but leave him be. Kids are more likely to be carriers. Since that is what's been said, like all like newborns got it and all that type of stuff. Which I'm surprised they didn't go like the whole over the top, oh let's kick a child type of thing, as some series do with this type of stuff in the backstories, because they're just like, all right, this is most likely a carrier, so let's just go. And considering that you have their mouths covered, I think they might think it's like a something that can spread if you get like contact or something, since that's how he referred it. But because they're like just ignore it, it's not a problem, which makes me think that that group of meta freaks or that a group of the class for the demonstrators might actually be more violent criminals than just the standard allegory or something like that, because they just like leave the child kind of situations. Then we have the child looking as they're going away, and then the guys in the back hears something, and then he's like, hmm. As then that guy's like, "What's that sound?" As then some other guys also turn on, so they hear too. And then they just have like a bunch of like, uh, I want to say the giant screwdriver stabbing through their hats and everywhere. We see like their eyes popping out, their blood all over the place. One gets in their mouth through it, and then we like this panel of child awful one, like just stabbing them all with these types of things all over their body. As then we have awful one looking down at them, as we have the Daenerys popping back out as says, this was the meta ability he had stolen from his mother. The child was imbued with hubris and disrespect for others from the moment of his birth. As then we see the woman's corpse like in the water. I'm not sure if it's moving or is it like I mean, underwater, as Off-One is using the quirk he stole from her, as in he's holding his brother. I can't remember his name, so I'm just going one full. As we have now saying as Off-One is using his fingers, and as well as he's I think making some from his mouth so to hold on to her. As he as a as Nero says, he viewed all within reach as his own possessions. Those who wouldn't turn to look at him when he cried and screamed, those who wouldn't provide him with anything, he viewed with utter distrust. As we see, distrust, I would say, he viewed them as lusting trash. And as we see him, like, I guess I'm not sure if he, like, I think the implication is supposed to be that he, like, used her as, like, a weight down so he and his body will not be swept in the water to as her corpse, basically, to not die. As then we have cut to random in the city, as then we see a child of I think a bit older than what we see previously, like killing two guys. Like one is on the floor dying, as the other guys has like a bunch of like a bunch of those steel pillars that are used in construction getting shoved into his face and then for a wall. Not sure which one killed him, but definitely one of those. And then another guy who has like some weird like glowy, some weird kind of hair effect. She's like scared of him, and then someone throws like a bottle of Pepsi or something. Well, bottle, but like the small ones, or a can of Pepsi or something. At All4 just turns around as we see like a child 1-4, I forgot his name, he's like, stop, don't hurt. As then they're saying, most of the nutrients provided by their mother was stolen by the older twin, leaving the younger twin small and frail. Basically, explain why he was so weak. It's not because some problems that his brother just like off one took everything, which left one for with almost nothing. As if one for also crying as he's like, "Don't!" As all four just kicked him because how dare does he throw a can of Pepsi at me. As yeah, I think he's just kind of we have a shot of him like kind of dragging. I'm not sure if it's dragging him or just carrying him or whatever. Like he's just kind of we just got like a white out panel of them from the Skype view. As the narrator once again shows up and says, the boy's smaller sibling provided him with nothing in particular. Still, the latter was one of his possessions, and not one he would readily relinquish. So basically, I like him because I like him, so that's the only reason why he's alive. Otherwise, I would probably have killed him sooner or later. As they were having news broadcast saying, as we see like a bill, a crack on the bill list, which makes me question how the fuck those happens. If it was like without everyone fighting with map abilities, maybe it was just an accidental attack from a metal or something, or burst. As we have someone saying, amidst the growing societal divide, that original growing baby, now grown, has taken a stand and is calling for the return to a peaceful, safe society. The leader gains more support day by day. So yeah, the baby, the glowing child. I guess that's a bit of a future. I guess we also get a bit more of an explanation of what happened to that guy. As we have Awful One, I guess he stole someone's that. I think it's called like walk or something, like the one that allows him to all for one to walk. As we have all for one, I guess coming to his brother as all for one tells him, you've kept this from me. What are you reading?" As we see one for reading a comic book, which makes me kind of wonder if he's really keeping it from him, or is it more just like he found that and he stays in that place and reads it, or something like that. And he just didn't tell what all for about this. As then we have because one for is like completely like transparent here. It's like, well, I'm still learning to read, so big fancy books are too hard. But these comics are just wow. It's like you read the pictures and they tell you the hopes and dreams of the people in the drawing. As we have off one saying like this hero, as we have Awful One coming from what I think was a fight or something. As then we have Captain Hero Volume One, Captain Hero Volume Two, and Captain Hero in the Volume Three, which we have seen multiple times in the past with the flashbacks with Awful One for already. As we have Awful One saying, "Someday I wanna be like him." As then we have like surprisingly enough, Awful One's kind of like a big brother here. It's like kind of interesting in him. He's like kind of sitting next to him and kind of looking in the comics with his brother. As we have Daenerys popping up again saying, the younger twin still hadn't completely given up on his older brother. The As we have explained why one for all guys still like kept with all for one of that because again he was getting beat like he like again all for one's respond to his little brother throwing a cannon at him and telling him to stop. It literally picking him in the face. So here we have. Oh, so the reason why, but here he talks to him like normally, like, oh, it's just a comic I found. So we explain that the reason why is, as Nair explains, in his faint memories, he recalled that hand and wanted to believe that his brother's grip had been gentle and kind, as we see part of that of holding him by hand. Yeah, gentle and kind, I doubt it. Especially since it does seem like he was activating his quirk. No, I mean we don't see blood coming from it, but I would not be surprised if there was some into the to the hand. As then we have a time scale into 3 years later. As then we have all for one. I guess kind of look like he just randomly woke up his brother as he talks to him and tells him, did you hear? Apparently, the famous glowing baby reached 10 million supporters. As one was like, brother? As All-For-One then tells him, weird, right? I mean, why them? Just because they were officially the first one in the record books? As then we have the Nero saying, I have All-For-One again saying, 2 weeks ago in India alone, 50 babies were born with meta abilities. So basically, it was explained that it was like this baby was the very first one. There were others. It's just it took a couple of weeks for them to be discovered. I mean, it's even like a skill. Like it's not like the glowing baby was probably like the only one that was actually noticeable. It's probably like glowing like the others ones probably needs like some time before they actually activate the meta abilities or demonstrate the meta abilities while the baby was glowing since birth. As they have often of being like that glow on you, as he's like kind of piecing things together for himself, as often tells him how they managed to really rally. How did they manage to rally so many people to them? Isn't it bizarre? I'm guessing we're keeping it vague on the. I get. I guess they're keeping it saying, referring to him as they because it does not matter if it's a boy or girl. Like they're because they're more of a symbolic thing. As we have All-For-One floating as he's kind of using he's doing the glowing baby's quirk and tells All For, so I killed that leader and stole that what was theirs. As we over top of On For, as On For is like, what? Why? As then we have on All-For-One telling him, remember what that comic book said? Now you do just look at the pictures by the looks of things. As then we have All-For-One saying, one for all and all for one. Words to live by. So I guess that's where the names for their quirks come from that comic book. I mean, that armor must have been really successful if he managed to inspire the two biggest quirks in existence, or the two strongest quirks in existence. So yeah, anyways, then we have All-For-One explains that we get like a couple of panels from the manga as he's or from the comic book, as All-For-One's like that hero had to hide his identity and battle on in solitude, while everyone paid tribute to the wicked demon lord out of fear. And they have like a grin with that All-For-One be like in his glowingness. I guess this is the reason why All-For-One has this weird glow to him in the recent chapter because of this quirk. As All-For-One says, just as you were inspired, I now want to a world that exists for my sake and mine alone. I have found my own dream. As then we get to the final page of this chapter, as we have, I'm guessing more of a symbolic rather than an actual what's events happening kind of situation, because we have like the same outfit that all One For All is wearing, as All-For-One is explaining him to all this, running away. As then we have this then we have the second user there, as all One For is like they're kind of like he's kind of being dragged. Like, come on, hurry! Kind of this, you want to have him keep up pace. But so I'm going to say more of a symbolic when the things actually happen. I do think he wore a different outfit during that time. I think he had maybe a blue jacket. Maybe not. Like it's kind of difficult to say. I think at one point now he wore a white shirt or a blue jacket, but it's still, I'm guessing it's a bit of a different, like more symbolic thing. As if All-For-One saying is One For is running away from him, being like, wait, why are you leaving? And after I granted you a power of your own. Dude, you gotta have a powerful mockery. I fail to see how that's like a good thing. You literally just give her a power that will make a mockery in existence. As then we have the second user there, as he's like kind of helping him, like come, come, run. As then All-For-One responds to this, again more symbolically. I'm assuming that second user and All-For-One didn't like the second user and All-For-One. Yeah, I'm sorry, the second user and the One For All did have some more interactions before this. I don't know if it was like just an immediate, as it's gonna be shown, kill as it's shown here. as we have All For One saying, "Hey, who are you? Get away from him! That one's mine! Hey, look at me!" And then we see the hand that All For One for All, and the second user are holding thing, as they have All For One saying, "If you refuse to be mine, then enough of this!" As then we have the hand getting cut off. But also thinks One For All gets completely destroyed, and the hand just falls down. I guess we'll also get the origin of the hand that Shigaraki got as like an extra bonus. I don't think that one was ever stated it was Nana or it was One For All. I question if it was One For All's. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Like maybe he kept it like preserved in hibernation or in frozen or something as like a last kind of keepsake, since again he kind of wanted One For All. Like there was no like benefit. He just like wanted him because he was like one of my possessions. As One For All just killed him and killed him. When I'm going to send on a rampage and killed everything else. So I guess we're getting the origin of the hand as well as All For One. So yeah, this was an origin chapter for All For One. So yeah, this chapter. No, funnily enough, a lot of people were kind of like surprised that Shigoshi was gonna go with the tragic backstory angle here, since I don't know. I guess they thought like I don't know. I guess people thought that All For One was gonna have some kind of tragic origin or something. Which you could kind of view it as tragic, but not really. He's very clearly supposed to be the guy's pure evil. I think honestly, it's just more of a not giving Hirokoshi credit at this point. But yeah, like I'm not surprised. This chapter kind of confirms that yes, All For One is pure evil, and that's from birth basically. Like from birth, he had this very you serve or you don't, you die if you don't become one of my things. So yeah, pretty much establishing it. Honestly, I'm very curious on how the hand and Shiraki's things gonna uh, go into one another and how this is gonna resolve. And I'm assuming after this flashback, we might just have like a chapter to end the fight, but we have to wait and see. I'm also assuming the next chapter is also gonna be an All For One flashback because of the way it's ended. Like enough of this, and just cut to the hands being ripped, and just like dot after this. So we'll wait and see if this is gonna be explained more detail later, or how this if this is gonna continue or not. But yeah, anyway, this is the end of the chapter. Nothing special. It's an origin chapter. It doesn't have like some kind of big revelation. Like we could have probably just assumed all these things. Like if you just told someone a synopsis of this chapter like a few years ago, I feel like they would probably all, yeah, I could see it. Like I don't know anyone's gonna be, no, impossible, or Takeshi is too much of a ruse to make such a pure evil character. I mean, I doubt anyone's gonna like this. I feel like we can all kind of imagine that there's like one of those origins when you can see it happening, even if it's just in writing. It's kind of like kids. I mean, if Hiroshi did the same thing as Oda did with Kid, where he just explained the backstory in SPS, I don't think anyone would be surprised this is All For One's backstory. But yeah, anyways, I hope you like this chapter reaction. I hope you leave your thoughts on this chapter in the comments below. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you Motos next time. Goodbye.